All right. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you're in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officers has an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, I need everyone to raise their right hand. Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, let's start on the lady side with Mr. Florio's client, Ms. Collins.
Judge, I know that sometimes I tend to talk a lot. We're not opposed if the court would prefer to just be saved for the end of the calendar to handle some of the other matters that may go quicker.
Um, no, we have a short calendar today.
Yes, sir.
I understand, and I'm not going to say it's long-winded. You're representing your client, so I understand we may have to get into a discussion about this. Um, Ms. Collins, ma'am, I would normally speak to you during this proceeding, but you have a lawyer, Mr. Florio, here who's here to represent you. So I'm going to speak to him about your case. You should know that any statements you make during this proceeding are not privileged, so don't say anything you would not want the whole world to know. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Florio, because you've sent me these documents, I'm going to allow you to set the stage for me.
Yes, sir, Judge. Your Honor, what happened was 2 days ago, Ms. Collins was arrested at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport while traveling to see family. She was arrested on a warrant out of Alachua County, Florida, for the allegation of using some sort of forgery to obtain drugs, prescription medication. Obviously, her family retained myself and has also retained local counsel in Gainesville, Florida, which is where the city of Gainesville is located in Alachua County. Through our investigation, we've been able to determine that there is a young lady whose name is Taylor Collins, Collins, who has been arrested multiple times in that area. And we provided those reports to Your Honor for the same type of offenses and same type of charges. That young lady is currently incarcerated in the state of Florida right now for a probation violation. What we believe may have happened is somehow that Taylor Collins and this Taylor Collins identities were confused and have become confused. I've spoken with my Taylor Collins and her family and local counsel in Florida, and it appears that my Taylor Collins has absolutely no arrest record whatsoever. This would be her one and only arrest in life. She's a former college student, works full time, and we believe that there's either worst case scenario that this Taylor Collins is a victim of identity fraud. Best case scenario, there was just some terrible mix-up or accident in issuing this warrant. One of the reasons we make that assertion is that in one of the reports provided to the court, and that would be the criminal complaint, Your Honor, filed against this Taylor Collins. In the criminal complaint, it alleges that law enforcement spoke with the mother of Ms. Collins, a lady by the name of Heather Coleman. Ms. Collins' mother is not Heather Coleman. Ms. Collins' mother is Christy Collins, who is here today and is prepared to testify if Your Honor would like to hear testimony from her. And so the criminal complaint alleges having spoken with a Ms. Heather Coleman, and Ms. Heather Coleman being the mother of the perpetrator, and Ms. Heather Coleman is not my client's mother. Your Honor, in researching the matter, I came across OCGA 171336. That is under the Uniform Criminal Extradition Act, and it provides for bail, and provides for bail in situations where someone is facing extradition, as is Ms. Collins, for an offense, and identifies that bond is available if the offense that the person is wanted for in the other state is not an offense punishable by either the death penalty or life in prison, which forgery for prescription drugs or forgery for drugs in the state of Florida is not punishable by either the death penalty nor a life sentence. And that is under the Uniform Criminal Extradition Act. And so I believe that the law allows for Your Honor to grant bond. Now, obviously, Your Honor has complete discretion in whether or not to issue bond. I completely acknowledge that. But I do believe that the statute 171336 does allow for it. Just for the court's knowledge, there is bond set in Florida. It's a $2,500 bond. And in full canter, in an effort to try to get this young lady out, her mom and dad have already posted bond in Florida. We're trying every avenue we can to get this hold released. Local counsel is going to the state attorney's office today to speak with the prosecutor in Florida to see if they would be willing to dismiss the warrant. Bond has already been posted on the case in Florida in an attempt to get the hold dropped. And so we're trying every effort we can to get this young lady out of jail. Our fear, and I've had it happen with clients in the past, is that sometimes neighboring states don't move as quickly as we would like in coming to get someone. And under the statute, it does allow for Ms. Collins' incarceration for up to 60 days. if Florida says they're coming. And the warrant, and I believe the fugitive from justice warrant, which she's being held on, Your Honor, which we would ask that bond be set in, Deputy Vong with the Sheriff's Office identified in the fugitive from justice warrant 2021 WA 13207 that Florida has indicated they will extradite. And so based upon that, I think statutorily, Ms. Collins does run the risk of being held for up to 60 days. It may not be that long, but that certainly is a possibility. And so because we believe we believe she is the victim of identity fraud or some sort of a terrible mix-up, we're asking this court to set bond on 2021 WA 13. And certainly we would abide by any condition. And so I would look at it in one of two ways. One condition being that Ms. Collins be asked to not leave the jurisdiction of this court while extradition proceedings proceed. And if that's the case, then obviously Ms. Collins will remain within the jurisdiction of Your Honor and will remain within the jurisdiction of this court. The other option that I would offer is that if Your Honor were to grant Ms. Collins bond, there be a special condition of Ms. Collins bond that she report to the Alachua County Sheriff's Office within 24 hours of release for execution of the warrant in Florida, and that I be made to provide the court with proof that Ms. Collins has surrendered herself to the Alachua County Sheriff's Office for execution of the forgery warrant. Yes, sir.
First, I appreciate that the fact that you've given me this information, that it makes the decision easier. I'm willing to set a bond of $1,000 for her, so that she can get out. But of course, you and I know it doesn't mean the warrant goes away.
Right.
So if she's attempting to fly back down to Florida, she may end up in the same situation she's in now, because there's a warrant pending. If her parents have paid the bond, I don't necessarily need to set a bond for her, because there should be a phone call to the sheriff's office saying to release her. But and I think that's what you were getting at with saying that there may be a delay. So what I'll do is I'm going to make your files, the information you sent me, I'm going to make it a part of her paperwork.
Thank you.
On this end, I'm going to grant $1,000 bond. And so she can either post a bond today to get out, or there'll be a phone call, whichever happens first. And I understand the fact that you want to make sure that you've kind of squared the circle so that there are no loopholes. And so I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Thank you for that consideration.
No problem. Anything else, Mr. Mr. Florio?
No, sir, Your Honor. Your Honor, that completes our business before the court. May we be excused this morning?
Yes, sir. Ms. Collins, you may get sent. You may go back.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good day, Mr. Florio. Ma'am, Miss Wesley. What case are you here on?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I see a Marie Johnson Wesley.
Yes, sir, Judge Gardner. That was me, and you were inviting me to.
Yes. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, no problem. Because I'm like, okay, who is this person? All right. Let's continue over on the lady side with Miss Ambush. And Miss Johnson Wesley, with the calendar, if you just look at it, I know it's going to be out of order because we do ladies first and then men. But as I go through it and I say the person's name, the charges, that's where you can see that there are amounts to be filled in on the document.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Ambush, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of simple battery, and 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. I've set a total bond at $10,000. You believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, yes, I can.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I'm not.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss King Taylor. Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting. Bond's going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Norris.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of methamphetamine, and 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. You're going to have a total bond that's going to be set at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour?
I make about $20 an hour.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir, but the hours, I don't make full time, it's only half time. If it makes a difference in that wage.
Well, you would probably have to make a little bit more than $30 an hour for you to be on the edge of qualifying for the appointment of a lawyer. So anything under $30 is you pretty much qualify.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Miss Pearsall? Ma'am, you charged 1 count of theft by shoplifting. The bond has been set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You're free to go back, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Miss Way?
Morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. You're charged with 1 count of driving under the influence and 1 count of hit and run. I've set a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Take the phone call.
Okay, that's it on the ladies' side.
That's it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for your assistance. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, let's switch over to the male side.
Let me have Mr. Derek Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, sir, you're charged with failing to register. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Banks? Oh.
Mr. Banks, hi, sir. You're charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and one count of use or possession of drug-related objects. Your total bond is going to be set at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I'll ask my family.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Is there any way my bond could possibly be paid like through somebody else, not by me?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, you're free to go back, sir.
Double out. Mr. Gardner?
Sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass and one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Your total bond is going to be set at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I think so.
Okay. I heard that you said you think so, and then you said some other things that I didn't understand.
Oh, you said 6,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a flat fee or a certain percentage of that, 10% of that or something?
Okay, sir. Remember when I was reading that whole little gobbledygook stuff at the beginning? Do you remember the portion I got to about bond?
No, sir, I'm deaf in my right ear, sir.
Okay. So cash, commercial, or property, meaning you can pay the whole amount in cash to the sheriff's department. They'll hold it till your case is resolved, and then they'll return it to you. You can go through a bonding company where you pay a percentage. I don't work for the bonding company, so I can't tell you what percentage that they will charge. But whatever percentage that they charge that you pay is a fee to them for their service that you will not get the money back. Or if you have property that has at least 3 times the amount of the bond, you can put the property up. The sheriff's department will place a lien on the property. And when your case is resolved, they'll take the lien off the property. Okay. So you got a preliminary hearing date set for August 30th, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much do you make per hour, sir?
$15.
Okay. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm sorry, sir.
No, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Brown?
Mr. Brown, sir, you're charged with one count of simple assault, one count of, well, actually 2 counts of simple assault and 1 count of terroristic threats and acts. Your total bond is going to be set at $11,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Guy Sterling. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's my roommate.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir. All right. Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning because the terrorist threats or acts is a felony offense. And that date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. Do you have any questions for me?
All right, so, you said the bond is 11,000?
Yes, sir. That was the question? Okay. All right. Is there anything else, sir?
I don't even know, like, I never even got a report about my, case, like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy.
Mr. Brown,
Yes,
do you want me to tell you the allegations against you?
please.
Okay. So the allegation is that you threatened your roommate, Guy Sterling, that you threatened to kill him if he called the police. And this statement was heard by Nasha McCoy. You then walked up, the allegation is that you then walked up to the victim, making gestures to punch him, which placed him in reasonable apprehension of immediately receiving a violent injury. And the offender and victim reside at the same residence. This occurred in Clayton County. Does that help clue you in?
You know, I mean, if that's what they said, that's,
These are allegations, Mr. Brown. Allegations.
I don't understand that.
So the way that we said on the street is that that's what they said. Okay. You have a right to present your own defense. I've given you a lawyer to help you present your own defense. If your roommates are just making this stuff up out of, whole cloth and out of thin air, then maybe you need to reevaluate the people that you spend your life around.
There's a room in the house.
Okay. I, what else do you want me to tell you, Mr. Brown?
No, I'm just saying, it was a room in the house. I'll rent the room from there.
So, Mr. Brown, maybe you shouldn't frequent those areas and places. Does that sound fair? Okay. Anything else, Mr. Brown? All right, sir, you're free to go back.
David?
Mr. Davis, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Your total bond is going to be set at $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yeah, yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from, is it Elijah Duggar?
Yeah, Elijah.
Okay. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. About trespassing, damaging.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Could you repeat that?
I was saying a question about trespassing and property.
Okay, say it one more time, sir.
I was like the trespassing and damaging property.
Do you want to know the basis of that charge? Okay, give me 1 second. So the allegation is that you sliced 2 tires that belong to Miss Duggar on her vehicle, and the damage was less than $500. For a criminal trespass, it's either you're a place that you're not supposed to be, or you're interfering with another person's ability to enjoy their property.
Oh,
So I know it doesn't make sense, but those are the two ways that it's listed in Georgia. So you can even get criminal trespass if, like, say you and your girlfriend got into an argument and you locked her out of the house. That could be criminal trespass because she has an ownership interest in the house and you're interfering with her ability to enjoy the property.
okay.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, actually, that car that was damaged is actually my car, it's in my name.
Okay. Tell your lawyer.
Okay.
Tell your lawyer. Okay. Because these are everybody here today. These are all allegations. State has to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. Anything else, sir?
Now that'd be all.
All right. You're free to go back.
Mr. Fonte?
All right, sir, you've been charged with one count of aggravated assault. And this is one of those offenses that are on the fence about whether the judge will grant bond or not. I can, under certain situations, and you do not fall into the category of being excluded. So I've set a $20,000 bond. Do you believe you can post that bond? And now keep in mind, the allegation is that you choke somebody out to the point of unconsciousness.
That's not true, sir.
Okay. It's a felon. This is aggravated assault. They call them 7 deadly sins, which are offenses: rape, murder, kidnapping, aggravated child molestation, things that a judge cannot set bond on. These are offenses that a judge can set bond under certain situations. And you fit within that parameter where I could set bond, but I can't ignore the allegation.
Right.
Okay. So there's going to be a $20,000 bond. There's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from Kennedy Joseph. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
I'm sorry, you said yes.
Sir.
Okay. I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you, sir. Do you have any questions of me?
Would I be able to do like payment plan?
That's there. I think there are 5 bonding companies, and they all compete. That's their business model, is to set bonds. They have payment plans. You just got to ask and you got to speak to them and be upfront and direct. Okay. And they'll work with you. But these are serious. This is a serious charge, and you have to understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that'd be it. That'd be
Okay, sir. You're free to go back.
it. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, you're Mr. Joyner?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you're charged with giving a false name, address, and date of birth. I set a bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, sir? Okay. All right, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay. You're free to go back.
Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones, sir, you're charged with 1 count of open container, 1 count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, and 1 count of impeding traffic. I've set a total bond at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. All right, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? All right, you're free to go back.
Mr. Sheriff. Cheaper than I thought.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Schurer. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of attempting to solicit, persuade, or encourage or entice a dealer to transfer or otherwise convey a fire, which is totally just kind of I think it's probably the first time I've seen this. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st. I'm sorry, August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. All right. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir, that's all.
All right. You're free to go back.
Mr. Stafford.
I'm doing well. Mr. Stafford, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You believe you can post that bond? There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Brittany Banks. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? All right, sir, you're on the edge, but I'm going to qualify you. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? All right, sir, you're free to go back.
Javon Dawes. Sir.
Mr. Thomas, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery and 1 count of obstruction of a police officer. Your bond is going to be set at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. Oh, wow, disappeared. Upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Mamie Abdul Samad. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mame is the first name that's listed here.
That's my girl.
I understand. And second name or last name is Abdul. Is spelled AD. D as in dog, ULSAMAD.
Yeah, what about her?
You're gonna have to stay away from her on the short term until this can get resolved. Do you understand that?
No, cause I can speak, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the report that they filed me is false. Her father called me and told me that it was on the way. It was all a misunderstanding. I'm not supposed to be arrested at all. It's all a misunderstanding. Her father called the police, and her report is probably wrong, but they did they self.
So So you know, Mr. Thomas, the what's before me right now is the allegation, which is again what they said, is that you intentionally cause visible bodily harm to Mr. Javani Thomas, which is you, involved in, and it's convoluted, so I understand, involved in a physical altercation with your ex-girlfriend, and the name they have here is Mame, first name, last name is Adulsamad,
Excuse me, sir.
where the allegation, hold on, the allegations you snatched a wig off her head and threw it outside the window during the altercation and bit her on the left arm, causing visible swelling consistent with the bite. That you then commit the offense of resisting arrest when you refuse all commands while trying, the police officer saying while they were trying to detain you, that you refused to be handcuffed and consistently pulled your right arm away to prevent from being handcuffed, that you also continue to try to dial on your phone while being given lawful orders, that you repeatedly stated that you are not getting out of your car, and they give the address for where the allegation of the battery occurred. So, Mr. Thomas, those are the allegations that are against you that forms the basis of why you're here before me. You should not speak about these allegations. You should speak to your lawyer about these allegations. So when you tell me you don't know, I all I can do is read you the allegations and hope that it clues you in as to what may have been perceived of your actions. Doesn't mean you committed a crime, but this is what people saw and this is what they reported.
Who's people?
Police, the people that put the handcuffs on you and locked you up and brought you to jail.
Okay, okay. This is. Can I explain exactly what
Mr. Thomas, you can. I would not advise you to do so, but if I, as I say, I can't stop a person from cutting their own neck. So if you want to do that right here, sir, you are free to do it.
happened? All right, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, that's the best, better choice. Discretion is better than valor. All right, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Chief Thomas. Go ahead. Here.
Okay, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of battery. These bonds have been preset. I don't know how that happened, but they've been preset, and I'm not going to disturb that. So you're going to have a total bond of $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at, let's see, I don't know why this is happening. August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Say again.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay. You're going to hire your own lawyer, represent yourself.
I have my own lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
Mr. Welch?
Mr. Welch, sir, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of robbery, and 1 count of aggravated battery. And I had to, this is again one of those offenses where It's a real difficult situation about whether to grant bond or not. The way that it was written is that somebody else essentially committed the crime and you were there. And it looks like you're being charged on a party to a crime theory. I've set a $10,000 bond for each offense, so that's a total bond of $30,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? I'm sorry, Mr. Welch. You said no? Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Welch. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for August 30th. I don't know why I keep disappearing. August 30th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. How are you doing, Mr. West? Sir, you're charged with speeding, giving a false name, address, or date of birth, and driving with license not on person. I've set a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I don't know. I didn't even know when I first got arrested. I didn't even know that they added a third charge of no license because I explained to him I had my wallet and he gave my wallet to my fiance. So he didn't even tell me he was giving me on 3 charges. He just told me he was gonna do the false name stuff and speeding ticket. He didn't even tell me he gave me the charge for the which is on his body cam about the not having a license because he asked another officer to get my wallet from my fiance. She actually pulled up on scene.
Okay. The question I asked was, do you believe you can post this bond?
I was saying I don't know due to the third charge.
Of license not on person? All right, I'll tell you what. I'll dismiss that charge. Now you're at $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? Remember the answer you just gave.
Yeah. She wants.
I'm sorry, sir.
I haven't seen anything.
Are you going to answer the question?
What was the question again?
I dismissed the license not on person. Now you have a bond of $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for August 31st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I don't know why I keep disappearing. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir. Just that's it.
All right, sir. You're free to go back. Do we have Javon McDonald? I have him as an add-on.
There's nobody else in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'll do an order for him to be brought over tomorrow. He's charged with armed robbery and aggravated assault. So he's not going anywhere. All right, thank you for your assistance and have a good day.
You too. Thank you.